Hello, hello. So, hello everyone. I hope we can hear each other well. So, welcome to the Webswing 24.2 release and SWT SWT demo webinar. We want to let me introduce you or welcome here Victor, who is the founder of Webswing. He will be leading the webinar together with Branislav, who is the senior developer involved in the development of the SWT and Webswing integration, and myself, I'm more responsible for the customer part, licensing part, and so on.
Hi everyone.
What it will be about. So the gentleman will be talking about the new features in the 24.2 Webswing, then the SWT support, how it works, and the demo, and your questions, of course, and what is next, what are our plans for the future of Webswing, and so on. So I hand over the voice to Victor.
Thank you, Igor. Hi everyone, and welcome again. Our next webinar. Another 6 months has passed, and another major release is out. So as usual, let me first walk you through some of the, let's say, more noteworthy changes that we've made or added to this release. And afterwards, Branislav will show you a demo of our new SWT support. So without further ado, let's jump into the changes. First, there is a new addition to our security modules collection for authentication with LDAP servers. It is a fairly simple security module. It's based on Java's JNDI package, so it doesn't require any third-party libraries. I know some of our customers already use their own custom LDAP modules, but from now on, it will be available for everyone out of the box. Yeah. Next, it's another security improvement now from the web security perspective. So we have improved Webswing's internal compliance with the OWASP CSP recommendations. That means we have refactored some of the Webswing JavaScripts and essentially most of the client and security modules to be more compliant with the CSP recommendations. So that means removing all inline scripts, removing inline styles, and other small changes. It doesn't have any functional changes. It's just that it allows a stricter set of CSP rules. These rules will not be applied by default in Webswing, as this might break existing integrations or existing installations. But at least Webswing won't limit you from defining a strict CSP, strict set of CSP rules anymore. Okay, next one. Some of you are probably might be aware of our JSLink direct API. If not, it's our messaging API. It's essentially just a plain send and forget messaging API between Java and JavaScript and vice versa. And we've added a new convenience API to this feature, where you can define actions on both sides in JavaScript or in Java. And these actions actually are able to send responses back to the caller. These responses will be available to the caller as a resolvable feature in Java or a promise in JavaScript. And on the screenshot here, you can see like a very simple usage of this new convenience API calls, where in the top screenshot you define an action, get browser info, that accepts a parameter and returns like a value of the native browser navigator object based on the parameter. And on the bottom screenshot, you can see in Java, on the Java side, how you can, using the Webswing API call action method, invoke that action and then wait for the result. And that result will be available as soon as the future is resolved. So this way you can easily kind of call methods from Java to JavaScript. Okay, let's go to the next one. And it is the new tool that we've included in our distribution. We call it X-Headless. And this tool can replace the XVFB library. And we have added it because some of the Linux distributions no longer ship the XVFB package in their repositories. Such distros, for example, the Red Hat UBI9. And this is essentially just a dummy implementation of the Xserver protocol that can trick the Swing framework to believe that Xserver is running. This tool is really intended only for using Webswing, because Webswing in Webswing Xserver is just a dependency that is actually never utilized by the Swing if the Swing is running in Webswing, and therefore it is really just a dummy utility to satisfy this native dependency of Swing, and it doesn't really do anything. Okay, let's continue with another area of improvements in our admin console. Here we made some optimizations, but I want to focus on a new option that you can now utilize to request heap dumps on running instances directly from the admin console. I think this is a nice convenience feature that can simplify our support or troubleshooting of the applications running in Webswing. And there are also a couple of other features that we've added to auto-detect potential problems in Webswing, and these places will auto-generate thread dumps in session pools or server process or the application itself. But these are not as important. They should be running in the background, and hopefully they will never be used. Right. Another, maybe a small improvement in JavaScript client is the addition of destroy function on the Webswing instance object. That will now fully clean up everything and revert the state of the browser back to its original state. This is mainly useful if Webswing is embedded in React or Angular applications, where Webswing is sporadically added or removed during SPA navigation. Without calling the destroy, some parts of the bootstrapped instance could have caused memory leaks, but now with the destroy, it will be completely reverted to to clean state. And last, not least, we are still continuing our long-term effort to reduce our dependencies, our third-party dependencies used in Webswing. In this release, we've managed to remove or replace some chunky libraries that essentially decreased the size of our WAR files by 1/3, which is not a small feat. We've removed some of the utility libraries like Commons Collections or Guava. We've replaced Juice dependency injection that we used in Webswing by our own implementation that is only using the feature set that we need. We've replaced Jackson data bind by JSON. That is like 1/10 of the size of Jackson, and it's working well. And we've removed FreeHab because it was already replaced by another printing library in apps. And also we've decided to remove the PDF.js library, which we used to display printed documents. Now we rely on the browser's built-in native PDF viewers, which is much more reliable, especially in the printing area where PDF.js on certain architectures or certain devices couldn't print the PDF files correctly. And I'm not talking about the security vulnerabilities that we have to fix almost every month, especially Jackson data binds. That was all right. Okay, I don't want to waste much of your time, so let me give the word to Branislav, who will show you the SWT demo that we've added in this release.
Just before Branislav starts, thank you, Victor, very much. I just wanted to note that please, if you have any questions, please, there is an option to add questions in this webinar tool. So please do not hesitate to ask us, and on the end of the webinar, we will be responding all your questions. Thank you, and thank you, Victor, again, and Branislav, I hand over the word to you.
Okay, thank you, Igor. So as has been already said, in this version, we introduce support for SWT, which stands for Standard Widget Toolkit. SWT is a toolkit for creating user interface, and it's similar to AWT or Swing. The difference from Swing is that SWT uses native GUI libraries, and its goals are high performance, native look and feel, and deep platform integration. SWT as a technology is used also in Eclipse RCP, Rich Client Platform. Eclipse RCP provides a modular architecture for building desktop applications using plugins, so it's similar to NetBeans. When an SWT application runs with Webswing, we use a library called SWT Swing from developer Christopher Deckers, who helped us to revamp this almost 20-year-old project, and it works very well for us. So SWT Swing is basically a port of the SWT toolkit to run on Swing. It removes the dependency on native GUI and replaces it with Swing components and configurable look and feel. Okay, so now I will show you some demos of SWT applications. Let me share my screen. Okay. So the first application I want to show you is SWT library. It is basically a showcase of SWT controls. And when running in Webswing, it's basically swing. These are all swing controls. So you can see you can see, for example, buttons, checkboxes, basic buttons implemented as swing components. We can open a dialog. Everything should be working similar as in a swing application. It's just basically converted from SWT to swing components. Okay. Let me show you another demo. Let me close this one. I will show you an Eclipse RCP application, but I will show you how can we configure it. So here I have a folder with my RCP application. You can see that it's an Eclipse distribution, and in plugins, I have my Webswing demo Eclipse RCP application jar. So to configure this with Webswing, we need to basically do a few things. In configuration and simple configurator, we have this bundles info, which basically includes all the plugins that are used in the application. We will make a copy of it called Webswing bundles. Here we have our Webswing demo application, and what we need to do is to comment out these native SWT plugins here and here. So this is what we need to do here. Sorry. Then we also included a flat look and feel jar here so that we can change the look and feel. And that's basically all we need to do here. Now in Webswing configuration, we basically set the class path for all the plugins jars and also the flat look and feel. Next, in the JVM arguments, we need to set the parent class holder of the OSGI to app. We need to include the URL for the Webswing bundles info we created. Then we need to set the default workspace folder. And last, we tell SWT Swing library that we want to use this look and feel flat light laugh. Then we configure the launcher. In this version, we have added this SWT launcher type, where we configure the main class, which is basically the same for every Eclipse RCP application. And we also include a SWT Swing library path. So this is all that we need to configure. Now we can try to open this application. Okay, so this is a very simple Eclipse RCP application. Just opening some editors. We have some custom command here. We can also take a look at the installation details, where we can see all the plugins that are installed for this application. Okay, I will show you one more thing with this application. I will change the look and feel to dark one. So we should just replace this light with dark. Save it. Now we should have a dark look and feel. Yes, so this is look and feel which is dark from flat look and feel. Okay, nice. The last demo I will show you is a little bit more complicated, so that you see that we can also run more complex applications, and it will be the Eclipse IDE. Okay, so we will start with this workspace. Okay, so now we are running Eclipse IDE inside Webswing. We have simple Hello World application, which writes Hello World to the console. So let me try to start it. Okay, so here we see Hello World. Of course, the application runs on the server side. I think that's all from me. I will give my word back to Victor.
Thank you very much, Branislav, for the presentation. It's very interesting. Just maybe one thing to add: it's the SWT support is working well. As you can see, it can run the, I think, most complex SWT application, which is Eclipse IDE. But of course, there are still some issues we know about, and we are working to fix them. Usually minor things. One such thing is the support of browser, because SWT has a browser component. Currently, it's implemented only by the J editor pane, I think it's called. But what we want to do is natively support the browser capability and display the content that the Eclipse or the SWT, the HTML context in the native browser where Webswing is running. So that's one improvement that we'll work on in the future. Okay, so I think that's what demo. This concludes the demo. And the last part that remains, except your questions, of course, which I encourage you to write down, is the next steps, or what you can expect for the next release, which is 25.1 and will be released in April next year. And that's going to be the next LTS release. Essentially, we want to keep this release more simple, so maybe not so many big changes to expect. So we want to mostly stabilize the features that we already have and add maybe some additional improvements to them. But from the bigger changes that we plan is the linked view, which is kind of an extension or an improvement of the undock feature. But in this linked view feature, the way it works is that the application will generate a linked view URL, and you can use this linked view URL to open different tabs or different browser windows to connect to the same instance where this URL was generated. This means you will get multiple browser connections to the same instance, and we'll have Java and JavaScript APIs where you can define which windows should be rendered in which browser tab, essentially. So it's very similar to Undock, but Undock has this one feature where you are always undocking an already existing Swing window or Java window. Whereas with the linked view, you first create the browser connection, and then you can decide what you will display there. This linked view is mostly implemented. It's in testing and review stage, so this will be added 100%. Another thing that we are planning to do is removal of the protobuf dependency that we use to encode our messaging between server and browser and server and admin console. We already have our own replacement that we were testing for the last two versions. In this 24.2, our implementation of this message serialization is already enabled by default, and in the 25.1, it will the protobuf will be removed as a dependency altogether. Another thing that we would like to do is improve, add some improvements in the testability area. That's another thing that I didn't mention in the 24.2. We've reworked or added some optimizations to the test tool that essentially allows you to generate an overlay of invisible HTML panels on top of your application UI, which can be then used by Cypress or Selenium to perform actions or do assertions. And we want to leverage this feature or functionality to provide a better integration with these established frameworks for testing. We're long planning to add an open telemetry support for easier monitoring setup for Webswing. And the last thing that we would like to add is currently that there are some settings currently that you can only define in HTML files, where you can only configure some of the JavaScript parameters there, but we want to bring everything to the admin console so you can define every customization or every configuration option in the admin console or in the Webswing config JS. So yeah, that I think concludes what we wanted to share on this webinar. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Victor, very much. Thank you, Branislav. I don't see questions. Please also, you can answer or poll, which we have here. And if you have any question you would like to discuss in person, like you have some supporting question, licensing question, whatever, please do not hesitate to contact us. It's the best contact is support@Webswing.org, or just simply go to our webpage and there's a contact form. If you need more information about how Webswing works, particular details, there's also a very good documentation about the processes, technologies, and everything what is used. Yeah. Also, all the webinars which we did half a year ago and 1 year ago are on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go back to the instant idle session or component migration webinar, it's there. Of course, best is to talk in person. So we are happy when you contact us and we can also work together more closely. So we are happy to help you, everybody. So that's from my side. I see some in the chat. Okay. Here's a question in the chat, so I can read the question. Victor, do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So the question is, how is the support to use Webswing as a replacement for an Android app? Are there drawbacks for touch events or something like that? So if you're asking about using Swing or like a Java desktop application from a mobile device, Webswing does support it. Of course, this very much depends on the application that you want to use on the mobile device. Usually, Swing applications are not very well optimized for touch devices. Essentially, Swing doesn't even have events that would recognize or that would distinguish between clicks and touch events. So it's not the best, but for legacy applications, it does work, and we have several customers that use Swing applications on mobile devices.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Thomas, asked the question. So if there are no additional questions, thank you everybody for joining the webinar. Thank you for using Webswing. And as said, if you had anything where we can be at your help, please come to us and we are happy to help. Oh, we are getting another question. I think Joseph is typing. Maybe let's wait a second. Oh, okay. It's just a thank you. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.